Hi, I'm Lydia, and I'm going to be leading you through a dynamic vinyasa today. We're going to play with opening through the hip space and a little bit into back bends as well. So I do have two bricks with me, and I also have a strap. If you don't have those things, don't worry at all. If you want to have something that resembles a strap, whether that's like a dressing gown belt or even just a regular belt or a pair of tights or something, then go ahead and grab those things now, just in case you want to play with them as we work through the practice. So we're going to work in towards kind of the inner seams of the hips a little bit, as well as the outer edges, playing with some of our flexibility, as well as kind of having that sense of curiosity between where our max range is, where our passive range is, and where our active range is as well. So we'll be going between those two spaces, playing with different intensities, playing with different sensations. We are going to go ahead and get started laying on our backs. So whenever you are ready, take your time to bring yourselves all the way down to your back body. And once we meet our back body, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to draw outwards. And as you move in towards this space, it might be an opportunity that you want to reach for your two bricks and place them underneath the outer edges of the thighs. And your hands here are going to place towards your bellies or towards your navel spaces. And just giving yourself permission to settle here. And for some of us, we feel that sense of settling as soon as we start to know that we're going to practice. Maybe we're traveling to that space, or in this instance, we're just gathering our belongings, putting our clothes on, and getting ourselves ready to move. And sometimes it also just might be something that is gradually starting to happen as we work through the practice itself. But as you come to pause in the stillness of wherever you are, maybe you're practicing alone, maybe you're practicing in the company of someone else. Just take your time to really feel whatever it is that you are feeling. And there might be a sense of curiosity within that. It might feel a little confrontational, especially if perhaps if you've willed yourself to practice today. But just knowing that we generally never really regret moving our bodies or taking time for ourselves. Let's take that breath in towards the heart and chest space as we inhale. Open the mouths and release as you exhale. Let's gather the soles of the feet down towards the ground and draw the knees upwards towards the sky here. And as you draw the knees towards the sky, just neutralize through that pelvic space. We're going to draw the right leg in towards the chest. The right hand is either going to go towards the right shin here as you drop the knee outwards towards the edge of the space, or you're going to place your right hand towards the heel or towards the toe of that right foot and move in towards a half happy baby. And slightly drawing our right knee outwards towards our right shoulder and feeling that sense of opening through the inner seam of the right thigh. And as we find that sense of weight through the front of the thigh, there's a subtle sense of pressure upwards. Take a breath as we inhale, and it might feel right for you today to elongate through the left leg. And just keeping that sense of opposing energy or directional reach from the right leg towards the left leg. Landing in the sensation in the presence of that. There are so many ways in which we can narrate our practice. There are so many ideas and feelings that we can come back to. And sometimes all of those things are just interwoven in the act of doing. In the showing up and being present with your body, guiding it through these specially formatted pathways. And bringing the mind and breath along for that journey and ride. And that's a little bit more of where we will play today. showing up in the symphony of all of those things. So we take an inhale. And we gather the left sole of the foot back down towards the ground if the left leg went long, and then just releasing the right sole of the foot back down towards the floor space as well. Placing 2 hands either sides of the hips, pressing towards the toes, the heels, and start to roll up through the pelvic space, lifting the pubic bone up towards the ceiling as we inhale. And then drawing the spine all the way back down towards the ground space as we exhale. Then drawing the left leg in towards the chest, pick your fighter, whether you went for the shin, whether you went for the heel or the toe. Can we drop heavy through the left shoulder as that left knee opens outwards? And maybe that was an opportunity for you to lengthen through the right leg here. Permission to settle, permission to soften. And whatever is coming up with you, maybe it's just a noticing of a difference between right side and left side. Just let yourself go there. Sit within whatever feelings that you have. And continue to breathe within that container of space for 2. And then if the right leg was extended long, bring the right sole of the foot back down towards the ground space, and then send the left sole of the foot down towards the floor. 2 hands once more, place at either sides of the hips, and we start to roll up through the spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Lengthening through the frontal hip points as we inhale. And then releasing the whole spine back down towards the ground space as we exhale. We gather the legs in towards the chest, our hands are behind the backs of the knees, and we take a rock upwards to cross at our ankle points. We're going to step it straight back in towards our downward facing dogs here. And as you step straight back in towards downward facing, press in towards your palms. And as you press in towards your palms, can you direct your heels behind your big toes? And feeling that kind of push-pull between the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet. And something between not completely collapsing your chest, but also opening the chest. Lifting through the hip points, but also engaging through the navel at the front of the bodies. Let's take a deepening breath as we inhale. Open the mouths and exhale. Rise towards your tiptoes, inhale. Send your knees down towards the ground, find tabletop position as you exhale. Move through 2 cat-cows, belly goes low towards the floor space, heart goes up. Pressing in towards the palms as you exhale, rounding towards the spine, puff up through the back of the lungs. Once more, navel goes low, heart goes forwards and upwards, inhale. Pressing in towards the palms of the hands, rounding through the spine as we exhale. And then releasing it back in towards that neutral tabletop position. Once more, tuck through your toes, lift through your hips. Bring it all the way back into downward facing dogs. Move towards your tiptoes on the inhale and step your right foot followed by your left foot to the top of the mat as you exhale. But step them just behind your wrist space so they're a little bit wider here. Halfway lift through your chest on the inhalation. And then shift your weight forwards in towards your toes. Keep a softening through your knees. Weight still stays predominantly in the feet, but extend your hands and fingertips way out in front of you. Drop your chin towards your chest, and almost like you're doing a standing Anahatasana, heart melting. Could you soften your rib cage in towards your thighs, in towards your legs? Deep, long breaths, inhale. One more to be here. And then slowly walking our hands back towards our toes and heel-toeing the feet either together or hip-width distance apart, however you choose to practice today. Lift through your heart space and forward in towards your legs as you exhale outwards. Opening in towards the front of the heart, chest and throat, go all the way up to standing, inhale. Release your hands by the sides of your body as you exhale. Arms go up towards sky, Ardha Hastasana, inhaling. Forward fold in towards your legs and thighs as you exhale. Halfway to lifting towards your chest space, inhale. Step back with your left foot, exhale. Send your left knee down towards the ground. Place your left hand at your left hip space. Right arm goes up towards the ceiling. Curl your fingertips inwards like a rocket. Press your fist towards the sky. Inhale. Pull your thigh forwards, your heart up to ceiling. Inhale. As you exhale, place the right hand down towards the ground. Step it back in towards the downward facing dog. Breathe into downward facing dogs. Draw your chin towards your chest. Roll it forwards. Find a high plank as you inhale. Send your pelvis down towards the ground and lift up through your chest. Exhale. Breathe it all the way back into downward facing, drawing your hips and pelvis towards the ceiling. Right leg goes up to the sky. Inhale. Draw the knee towards the nose as you exhale and send the shin towards the floor space. Right shin goes down, left leg stays long. Lifting up, send the left knee down, arms go towards the ceiling space. Inhale. Pause, bend your elbows, cactus, exhale. Arms lift up towards the ceiling, inhale. Hands go down towards the ground, exhale. Pushing towards the palms, step your right foot in between your hands, step your left foot towards the top of the mat space. Open chest, inhale. Forward fold in towards thighs, exhale. Rising up to standing, prayer goes high to ceiling, inhale. Hands by side of body, exhale. Connect with the breath, arms go up, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway to lift on the inhale. Step back with the right foot, exhale. Send the right knee down towards the ground. Right hand cradles right hip like a rocket. Left arm goes up to ceiling. Lift a little higher, pull up through the right hip, inhale. Open through heart and chest, just softly. Initiate the space and exhale, frame your left foot. Pressing in towards your palms, lift your left leg back and up to ceiling, inhale. Knee towards the nose as you exhale, left shin towards the ground space. Right knee connects with the floor, toes stays tucked. Arms go up towards ceiling, inhale. Like a kneeling Anjaneyasana. Exhale, bend through the elbows, take cactus, draw down. Up towards the ceiling space, inhale. Hands towards the floor space, exhale. Push through palms, left foot in between your hands, step right foot towards the top of the mat. Open your heart space. Exhale, forward fold in towards your thighs. Rise up to standing, inhale, sweep your prayer towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands by the sides of the hips. Arms go towards the sky, inhale. Forward fold in towards your legs on exhale. Halfway to lifting towards your chest, inhale. Press down through your palms, exhale. Step it back, find your high plank. Breathe in towards your high plank space, inhale. Pelvis goes down, exhale, draw up through your chest. Downward facing, lift your hips to the ceiling, we arrive. Holding your downward facing dog and just give yourself a little moment to be here. And then engaging the pressure through palms of hands, soles of feet. Lift your right leg up towards the ceiling space as you inhale. Bend through the right knee and open through your hip as you exhale. Press your chest in towards your left thigh, indulge. Step your right foot outside of your right hand. Draw your right arm upwards towards the ceiling space. Inhale, look up in towards your right palm. Now keep the space of the legs. As you exhale, you're going to tap your right fingers over towards the front left corner of your space. As you inhale, draw the right arm back and up towards the sky. You have two more here. Exhale to tap right fingertips towards top left corner. Inhale to breathe it all the way up. One more. Right fingertips tap to top left corner. Exhale. Breathe it all the way up as you inhale. Take a full breath, reach a little higher. Heel toe that right foot just slightly closer. Now angle in towards the outer edges of the feet. Pressing towards outer edges. Inhale, lift all the way up with your fingers. As you exhale, drop in towards a low Shiva's twist. Look behind you. Pressing in towards outer edges of feet. Bring that all the way up. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring it back in towards your lizard. Open through the front of the chest and heart. Inhale. And as you exhale, walk your hands backwards, bend in towards your left knee. Skandasana at the back of the mat, reaching through left fingertips, flexing through right. Drawing that all the way forwards again. Frame your right foot and lower your left knee down towards the ground. Lift your arms up towards the ceiling, inhale. Frame your right foot, exhale. Step it back to downward facing dogs. Breathe in downward facing. Roll forwards, high plank, inhale. Pelvis goes down, exhale, heart goes up. Hips lift up towards the ceiling, meet in downward dogs. Left leg goes high to sky, inhale. Left knee opens, exhale. Pushing towards your hands, press your chest in towards your leg. Step your left foot outside of your left hand. Easy twist, draw your left arm upwards towards the ceiling space, inhale. With that, bring your pelvis up with it, extend your arm. Exhale, drop your hips, tap your left fingertips over to the top right corner of the mat. All the way up as you inhale. We have 2 more here, tapping as you exhale. Lifting on the inhale. Once more, reach across on exhale, resist the space. Lifting all the way up through inhale. Move to little toe side of feet, lift up through the left side hip. Drop it into the space, Shivas, breathe out. Press down, lift it all the way up, inhale. Hands go down to earth, exhale. Bend in towards right knee, but keep left fingertips planted. Right arm to side of space, Skandasana, breath out. Travel it forwards, frame your left foot. Right knee goes down towards the ground, arms go high to the ceiling, inhale. Framing left foot, exhale. Step back, downward facing dogs. Rolling forwards, inhale, high plank. Hips down, heart up. Wave it all the way back, downward facing, you arrive. Hold in downward facing dogs. Slow, steady breaths. Beautiful. Now this time you're going to roll it forwards in towards your high plank as you inhale. You're going to send your knees towards the ground as you exhale. Tabletop position, but walk your hands back so they're a little bit more underneath the line of your shoulders rather than ahead of your shoulders. Toes are tucked. Pushing towards your palms, lifting open through your throat and lower down through your bellies. Inhale. Hug your elbows in towards your ribs, send your chin and chest to ground. Exhale. Breathe. Maybe untuck the toes. Gorgeous. One more breath in. Push into your hands like a press up. Bring it all the way back up. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Bring it back to downward facing dog. Extend your right leg up towards the ceiling space. Inhale. Bend the knee and open the hip. Exhale. Option to stay. Now flip the dog to Makarasana, wild thing. Opening in towards your heart and chest. Inhale. Releasing. Right foot goes outside of right hand. Exhale. Right arm goes up towards the sky. Make a simple twist. Inhale. Moving towards Shiva's twist. Drop through your hips. Exhale. Lift and up and over through the right side body. Inhale. Right hand goes down. Bending towards the left knee as you exhale back at the mat space. Draw it through your goddess as you inhale. Hands find prayer. Feel the breath in through nose. Skandasana in towards the right knee. Exhale out. Turn and frame your right foot top of mat. Send your left knee down towards the ground. Left hand cradles hip. Right hand like a rocket goes up to sky. Reaching through your fingers and fists. Inhale. Breathing one more. Releasing, frame your right foot. Step back into high plank. Inhale. Chaturanga to front bodies. Exhale. Bhujangasana, hug back. Chest forwards, breath in. Body down towards ground. Don't tuck the toes. High plank, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Left leg to ceiling, inhale. Knee bends, hip opens, exhale. Pause or flip the dog to Makarasana. Open through heart, chest and lungs. Feel the space. Return. Left hand, left foot goes down towards the ground. Breathing left arm to ceiling, inhale. Dropping through hip shivas, exhale. Feel the flow, inhale, come up. Left hand goes down, bending towards the right knee, Skandasana back of the mat, sit in Skandasana, flex through the foot. Goddess, breathe it up, inhale. Extra breath. Skandasana, bend left knee, exhale. Turn and frame your left foot. Right knee goes down towards the ground, right hand hugs the hip, left arm goes up with a fist. Arm is close to ear, inhale, pull up. Exhale, expand. Release and return, hands to the ground. Step back, high plank, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Let all of that patterning settle. We're going to really play today with a sense of freedom, a sense of flow. And sometimes when we think about certain poses or certain practices, we add so much tension into it. You don't need that much. Rise towards your tiptoes. Inhale. Step hop flow to fly. Land your feet to top of mat as you exhale. Halfway to lifting towards your heart's breath in. Forward fold, exhale out. Rise up to standing prayer to ceiling. Inhale. Hands by side of hips, exhale. Heel toe your feet a little wider. Place your hands towards the base of your spine, the lower portion of your back. Bending towards your knees, lift it open through your chest, inhale. Stick your bums out. Really drop into that space, inhale, wrap your elbows. Exhale, keep your bum sticking out, place your hands towards the backs of the hamstrings. Squeeze your glutes, send your pubic bone forwards, draw your bums in. Open through front of heart, chest, maybe throat as well. Squeeze the glutes, direct the heart and rib cage upwards. Breathe it all the way back. Arms to ceiling, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway to lifting towards the chest space, inhaling. Pressing in towards palms of hands, step hop flow to fly, chaturanga, exhale. Upwards for inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Giving yourselves just a moment to settle. Right leg goes up towards the ceiling space, inhale. Knee towards the nose and foot between the palms, exhale. Left knee goes down towards the ground space. Lift your arms upwards towards the ceiling, inhale. Create a box above your head as you exhale. As you hold your elbows and forearms, direct them up to the sky, and then feel like you're really pressing the elbows into the hands. Left toe is going to stay tucked. You're going to open through the heart and chest, inhale. As you exhale, you're going to flex in towards the right foot. Send your forearms forwards and pull back on that right hip. We're going to pulsate this for 2 more times. So bending towards right knee, drawing forwards and upwards with heart and lungs, inhale. Shifting it back and lengthening through the back of the right hamstring leg as you exhale. Receiving the inhale as you go forwards. Receiving the exhale to initiate your journey backwards. Bring it back into Anjaneyasana. Inhale, lift your arms high to sky. Your left toe is tucked. Now as you exhale, lengthen and lift upwards. Single-legged forward fold, stay on the ball of the left toe. Crown goes forwards, hands flow behind you. Maybe they stay behind you, plug into the right big toes. Maybe they carry ahead of you. Keep breathing for 1. Bending towards the right knee, high lunge, inhale. Left knee to bend, pull down, exhale. Up into high lunge, inhale. Hold it. Settle with the sensation. Here for 2. Lengthen through your left hip flexor for 1. Draw your hands in towards your chest. Stand in towards your right leg and hug your left leg in towards your chest. Lift a little higher, inhale. Send your left hand towards your left shin. Lifting upwards through the right arm, take a breath. Either pause or press your left shin in towards your hand. Squeeze on through your glutes. Open your chest to the sky. Keep long through the front of the hips. Woo. Breathe it all the way back. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to squeeze the left heel in towards the glute space. This can be a quad stretch, lifting through fingers, inhale. Or as you lift up, you're going to extend the toes up and back. Push the foot into the hands and send the right arm in line with the tip of the nose. Dancer's pose, inhale. Two-way activity, reach your right fingertips, push up and back through left leg. One more breath in. Step it back to warrior two. Control and then reverse, inhale. As you exhale, right fingertips go down, turn the leg to prasarita, wide leg forward fold. Lift your chest halfway up, inhale. Keep your right leg straight, bending towards your left knee as you exhale. Right hand is going to reach under and dive for the left ankle. Hold the left ankle with the right hand. Left knee is bent, press into right foot. Maybe elbow plugs down. Lift the left arm up towards the ceiling space, inhale. Indulge in the spaces between the legs. Breathing one. Left hand goes down towards the ground space. Turn towards the front of the mat. Frame the right foot, send the left knee back down towards the floor space. Prayer goes up towards the sky, inhale. Bending at the elbows, exhale. Lift the elbows up, inhale, reach your fingers away. Maybe to pause or to point or squeeze the heel in towards the back of the head. Imagine those 2 points could make contact. Keep lifting through the front left hip. Inhale. So we're squeezing to magnetize through the left glutes, sending the left hip forwards, but also upwards with the rib cage. Inhale for one. Exhale, frame your right foot. Left hand goes down towards the ground. Either step back through side plank or tuck your left toe. Draw your right leg up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Shifting to Vashisthasana as exhale. You might be drawing your head a little further forwards, reaching through toes and heels, or opening through the right side of hip. Equally, you might be in side plank spaces with left knee elevated or left knee or shin down to ground. Just be here for one. Inhale. Right hand goes down, exhale. Just set it straight back into downward facing dogs. Pause in your downward facing. There's a little dance you like to take when you get here. Take that little dance. Stay connected with what it is you need from this practice. And then if you are with me, we're going to roll forwards in towards the high plank space as we inhale. Send our gaze out in front of us, send our knees to the ground, exhale. Releasing the bum backwards towards the heels, find your child's pose. Fingertips to the ground space, forehead towards the earth. Breathe in towards Balasana for two, inhale. You might choose to stay in Balasana, child's pose. You might choose to bring yourself into Anahatasana, heart melting. Or you might want to bring a brick to your mat if you have a brick, and we'll play with Pinchamayurasanas. So if you have the brick, you're going to draw it down towards the mat space, and you're going to use it to prop up your toes and your legs. I'm going to go for prayer. You can go for number 11. You can take the brick also between your hands, but you're going to step your feet, toes particular, balls of the feet onto the brick space here. Close the gap and the distance as much as you can. Rise high with your hips, inhale. And maybe shifting that proximity so it's really nice and close. The thighs are active, knees are zipping up in towards the belly. Extend your left leg slowly to ceiling, inhale. And then tap your left toes down towards the brick as you exhale. Repeating this for 3. Gliding left toes up, inhale, maybe shifting a little higher onto right toe. And then tapping toes down, exhale. One more, just like that. Releasing left leg up to sky, shifting forwards. Inhale, squeeze. Releasing down, exhale. We let that go. We move the brick towards one side. We press back in towards the palms of the hands. So we meet collectively back in downward facing dog. Hips lifting to the earth. Left leg goes up towards the ceiling space. Inhale. Knee towards the nose, foot between the hands. Exhale. Right knee going down towards the ground space. Grabbing hold of elbows. Pressing elbows into hands. Lifting up. Inhale. Apply the pressure. Lift a little higher. Pulling upwards through the right hip points. Feeling breath in through nose. Let's tuck through the right toe. As you receive the exhale, shift your hips back. Half Hanumanasana, reach your forearms forwards ahead of you. Receive the inhale, dive forwards, and then move in towards that Anjaneyasana back bend. For 2, exhale to pull back, flexion through the left hip. Bending in towards the left knee, drawing it all the way up and opening through your heart and chest. Back as you exhale, third and final time. Forwards into Anjaneyasana on the inhale. Open through heart. Lift your arms, tuck your right toe, press into the feet, rising upwards. 2 long legs, hinging forwards. Hands can go alongside your hips. Well, it's only a breath. Extend your arms out in front of you. Inhale. Bend into left knee. Exhale. Rise into high lunge. We hold. So there's a sense of really lifting up, working a little bit more through the front of the hip in this portion of the class. Keeping breath, inhale. Now maintain your focus, drop your brain into your left foot, inhale, prepare. Exhale, hands find heart. Stand on the right foot, hug it all the way up and in. Right hand to right shin, left arm to ceiling, inhale. You can stay here. Or press the shin into the hand, arm plugs alongside the ear, inhale. Lift up and back for your psoas expansion. Big toes connect, thigh is pulled up. Very hard in a white space. Take a breath, inhale. Embrace your wobbles, breathe all the way back. Maybe it's a quad stretch, hand to heel or hand to inner seam of ankle. Lift up, inhale. Really think of two-way expansion, not just going forwards with the arm, dropping and collapsing, but really think about how you press back with the shin, how you press up with the toes and the foot. So there's so much happening through the back of the body and through the thigh. Dancer's pose, 3 breaths, inhale. Sliding on my sweat, breathe for 1 more in. I'm gonna have to land it back, warrior 2. Take an extra breath if you need it. Into the reverse of that space, inhale. Really beautiful. Then releasing as we exhale, send the fingertips down towards the ground. Moving in towards that Prasarita, lifting through your chest, inhale. Bending in towards the right knee, diving the left hand towards the right ankle. Maybe left elbow can drill into the ground. Pull into those 2 spaces, lift your right arm up towards the sky. Inhale. There's a gorgeous little spinning opening, releasing through the left inner seam of the leg here. Reach even higher through right arm. Get what you need for a breath in. Releasing as we exhale. So you're maneuvering yourself to frame the left foot and the right knee down towards the ground space. Draw your prayer up towards the ceiling, inhale. So you're not just going forwards, but you're also coming upwards. Allow for the ribcage to move, inhale, bend through your elbows, exhale. Shifting forwards, squeeze the toes in. Now squeeze through the leg. If it helps you to flex the foot, flex the foot. So we want to find that sense of lengthening through front of thigh, but also it's like we're cracking a walnut between our glutes, between our calf. If you gather the foot, inhale, go higher, exhale, go a little deeper. You get more if you go up and out of flexibility than you do if you fully drop into it. Breathing for 1 more in. Right hand goes down towards the ground. I'm falling all over the shop. Side plank, so you're grabbing the left toes with the peace fingers, pressing in towards the hand, gliding it up, inhale. Locking back into that sense of symphony with breath, mind, and body. Curiosity with where you are today, being absolutely okay with that. And then releasing, hands go down towards the ground, gathering hips back to the sky. And just meeting in downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Rising towards our tiptoes, inhale. Knees going down towards the ground space, exhale. So either child's pose, but if you did take it last time, you've got to take it on the second side. It's the law. Grab your bricks. Even if it's not your best leg, please do it. Bring the forearms down towards the ground space. Maybe you need it slightly further away. Maybe it can go closer. We really want to plug the toes in towards the brick. We want to zip up through the inner thighs, lift our hips as high as we can. Because we lift up through the hip space, we hug through the arms, we can go slightly higher. Right leg, if you're with me, is it flies to sky and then taps the toes. I can tell you now for nothing, this is harder than a pincha mayurasana. Do it 2 more, but if you can do this and feel strong in this, pincha's going to feel like you're flying. Once more. See if you can really lift up. Send that hip in line with your shoulders. Inhale at the top. Exhale, we can release. Let's take a little moment. Bring the knees, body back down to the ground. Move the brick towards one side. Reach for our fingertips and our bum towards our heels. Soften through our head body. So this is where we may need our strap. If you don't have a strap, I'll just cue it for you without the strap as well. You are going to walk your hands back. If you're working with a strap, just place it towards the front of the mat space. Tuck through the toes and lift your hips high towards the sky. Bring it back into downward facing dog. If you're floating, float. If you're stepping, step your way towards the top of the mat space. And you are going to take your bricks, if you're practicing with them, if not, same thing without them, down towards the front of the mat. You're going to step yourself onto the bricks and place just the heels to that front corner. Slightly turn your toes out. Make sure your brick is nice and straight. Now from this space, you can take an inhale. Because you're on the brick, you have a little bit more leverage to open through the fronts of the thighs and open through the fronts of the hip space. So as you press into the toes, hands are going to go behind us as we've already done. Exactly the same thing. You're going to stick the bum out. Hands are going to press in towards the back of the spine. So you stick the bum out, you're opening the chest. Keep that opening of chest. Lift up through your ribs. Keep pulling the ribs up, but send your pelvis forwards. Pull the ribs up higher, place your hands behind the backs of the hamstrings. Pull the ribs up higher, squeeze the shoulders. Bend the knees, but pull the ribs up higher. Open through the throat, but press the ribs to the sky. Maybe there's a little bit more softening in the knees. Make sure you're still pressing weight through heels. Pressing weight through toes. Breathe it slowly, 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 steadily, steadily, steadily. All the way back up. Step off the brick. Fold over your legs. Oh, that feels good. Let your head go a little heavier. Maybe you're grabbing elbows. Maybe that's a great big breath here. Inhale. Gorgeous. We're going to bring our straps. It's not a strap, don't worry. But something that resembles a strap, grab that. All the way up with us. Your right leg is going to be the leg that we're wrapping. So you don't need any loops in it. Just allow it to be long on both edges. Draw the weight in towards the left foot. Zip up through the left hip space. And you're going to gather the right foot into the strap. So you gather the right foot into the strap. You're going to start to lift up and just hold both sides of the strap in your right hand. Left hand towards the left hip. You can lengthen or not lengthen the leg. It's totally your choice. Press the heel away. Flex through the toes. Lift a little higher through the head. Inhale. Moment of calm. Now as we exhale, we're going to slowly start to keep our hand on the strap. Bend through the right knee. Carry the strap behind us. Elbow goes out to the side, then up to the ceiling. Inhale. Now either here, you find your stability. Left hand might go towards your elbow. Left hand might go towards your right wrist. Or two hands are going to travel down the strap or the belts. Press in towards the foot space. Foot into strap as you start to lift up. Arms squeeze alongside the head. dancer's pose, inhale. One more breath. And slowly just releasing out of that. Shake a leg and breathe it all the way back down. Sorry, I was very silent there. I have no spot to focus on. But if you have a spot, stare at it. Let's do the same on the second side. Bring yourselves all the way up from your fold. Shift your weight in towards your right foot. So as you shift your weight in towards your right foot, gather the left foot in the belt. And as you gather the left foot in, give yourself that moment to ease in towards the back. Left hand, reaching down. Head high, shoulders broad, right hand to hip, inhale. One more breath. So as we exhale, we bend through the knee. Elbow starts to shift. Our palm faces up to the sky. Elbow goes out to the side, then up to the ceiling. Right hand to elbow, wrist or travels down the strap line. Lift it by pressing your foot back and then drawing it up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Keep pressing those 2 points up and away. So actively working through the leg, actively working through the arms, not actually dropping your chest too far forwards. Maybe one side is super different to the other. You might be able to see that mine is. Lean into it for this. 2 breaths. Release. Slow and controlled. And then take that forward fold. Say goodbye to your straps. Bend over your legs. Fingertips down towards the ground. Nod the head yes, shake the head no. Gather a slow and steady breath. Inhale. And breathe out, exhale. Lift up through your heart and chest space, inhaling. Press into the palms of the hands, exhale. Step it straight back in towards your downward facing dogs. Breathe into downward facing here for 1. Right leg goes up high to ceiling space, inhale. Step your right foot outside of your right hand as you exhale. Your right foot here is actually going to veer on a diagonal off your mat. So you're going to heel to that right foot away. Stay high on the ball of the left toe. Press in towards your fingertips, lift up through your heart and chest, inhale. And then maybe send your right foot further away and flex through your right heel. So it's like a half Hanumanasana or a Hanumanasana itself even. But you're having a little bit more of that space because the legs are on a diagonal. Maybe to pause or maybe to float the pelvis down towards the ground. Lifting up through the chest, maybe untuck the toe. You might hold it or you might even just let yourself fold in between your legs and thighs. You can flatten the whole body to the ground. You can stay a little higher, it's your choice. Walk your hands all the way back. If you untucked the toe and melted yourself down, you come back up by retucking the toe, pushing in towards the fingertips and sending it straight back into downward facing. Hands find the ground, hips lift to the sky. Left leg lifts up towards the ceiling space, inhale. Left foot steps outside of left hand, exhale. Scooches off the mat. Fingertips maybe flexion through the left heel. So you can see that there's a sense of dropping or a little bit more passive. Still opening through the front right hip point, inhale. Sending it maybe down, exhale, untucking the toe. Stay high or melt as much as you choose. And I do encourage you here to keep that sense of flexion in towards the left foot if that feels available to you. You might just want to roll a little bit in towards the hip space, roll a little bit out. And then we're pulling the fingertips and the hands back down towards the ground. Pushing in towards fingertips, stepping it all the way back, or flat palms to the ground. Hips to the sky, hands to the earth. And for one last time, let's roll forwards in towards that high plank space as we inhale. Draw the pubic bone, pelvic space down towards the ground, open through the chest. Take an extra sip of breath. Exhale, lift your hips all the way back and up towards the ceiling space. We're going to rise in towards our tiptoes as we inhale and send our seat all the way down towards the ground as we exhale. So there's an invitation for full Ardha Dhanurasana for wheels. If that isn't for you today, listen to your bodies. If you have bricks or pillows, bring them with you. Roll down through your spine one vertebrae at a time. Meeting with the back body on the ground. We're going to place the hands either sides of the hips. And as you place the hands either sides of the hips, can you really press into the scapulars and even the outer edges of the arms? So we've done so much of hip opening, especially through this frontal psoas space. So it's really connecting all the things that we've done in towards a little bit more of a weighted back bend. So as you press in towards the palms of the hands, we're going to start to roll the pubic bone up towards the sky. And just pause from your supine bridge. Don't rush straight away to interlace the fingers. Just press in towards the palms and lift up through the hip points. As you lift up through the hip points, can you find a sense of weight and heaviness through the fronts of the ribs? Breathe as if you're trying to close the gap between the lower floating ribs and the front of the hips. By also pressing the shins forwards in space, you're here for what? Roll all the way back down through your spine. So this would be your opportunity to take a restorative bridge or to interlace the hands if that's what you wanted to do. If you are with me and you're going all the way up, we're going to go in towards our full Ardha Dhanurasanas or versions of that space. Placing our hands either side of our ears, our fingertips are kind of underneath our shoulders here. And as you press down, I want you to feel that sense of rocking backwards through the hands. So you know that your shoulders are going to lift and you're going to put weight into the heels of the hands as well. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, push down through hands and feet evenly and start to bring the crown of the head to the floor. Now pause here. So we have 5 points of contact. Now can you squeeze the glutes and press your pelvis all the way up to the sky? So you have that sense of lifting through the front of the pelvis already. Bum is really heavy, so keep that switched on. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, push down, lift everything up. Maybe you want to close the distance, walk the feet in a little bit, but keep squeezing the glutes up. Rib cage up and back, pressing in towards the palms. Wherever you are, breathe for 4, inhale. One more breath. We go all the way down, chin towards the chest, shoulders to the ground, spine to the ground, pelvis to the ground, legs into the belly, give them a hug. Wrap the arms, shift a little bit from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. Then placing the soles of the feet back down towards the ground space. I was going to bring us up for another vinyasa, but let's actually just stay connected towards the ground. We're already here, aren't we? Pick up the right leg, cross over the left leg once or maybe twice. Goal posting the arms outwards. You're going to shovel the hips a little bit over towards the right-hand side. Pick them up and then drape them over towards the left-hand side. Now you might want to keep the arms goal posting or place your left hand towards the crease of your right hip space and almost give yourself an assist to press that hip away. So you're lengthening through the right side body a little bit more as you inhale. I'm actually just going to soften the grasp of my legs here. And then as you exhale, drop a little bit more weight into that right hand shoulder and roll the gaze over. And as teachers, we use a lot of muscular effort in assist, so it might be hard to kind of keep that feeling, but you might just want to press into that for a breath, initiate what that sensation might be, and then just release into that softness a little heavier. Gorgeous. Let's release the left hand if it was touching right hip space. Draw the legs all the way up and back through center. And unravel, right sole of the foot finds the ground. Left leg crosses over the right leg once or maybe twice. Shuffle the hips over towards the left hand side. Drape them over towards the right hand side. So you can see that everything kind of peels away. So what I want to do is place my hand towards my left crease of hip, push that down and towards the front of the mat, towards the toes. Give a little bit more space for the right rib cage and drop in towards the left shoulder. And again, maybe it's just that you apply a little bit of forceful pressure for a breath in. And then you release into the weight of that as you exhale out. Let's do that one more time. Push in towards that hip space. And then release. And we'll draw the legs back through center this time. Allow them to unravel. Bring them in towards the chest space. And you might just want to find a little bit of wall space. You might just want to find your sofa or your beds and place your legs over them. Feel that elevation, or perhaps you want to tip your weight back in towards your shoulder stance. Hopefully that's not squishing the mic too much. Toes down towards the ground space. Maybe lifting the legs upwards towards the sky or bending the knees and finding your snail. You hold wherever it is that you need and choose to be. Let's collectively just breathe into the bodies really slowly. So each time that you inhale, you barely even get to the very top. You go there, but you don't try to force it. As soon as you need to exhale, or even just before, you start to breathe outwards. Calming the breath down for 4 more of these. And very, very slowly, there is no rush at all. You do you. Bring the soles of the feet down towards the ground and we'll have the knees to the sky. And just maybe heel-toeing the feet towards the edges of the mat, letting the knees drop in towards one another. Hands might place to the belly. So these practices are here really to keep that spark and that fire going. In summer, if we're thinking about all of these qualities and all of these elements, it has this rajasic sense, this fiery sense. You might even feel like you've been burning the candles at both ends, trying to keep up with social cues, social occasions, weddings, birthdays, babies, but also trying to stay on top of your routines and your patterns and your workload. And because summer is always on this upper vibrancy, we kind of have to ride the wave where it becomes really hard to trudge through it. So hopefully this practice has given you a little bit of that time and space to lean into that vitality, but to do it in a way that feels deeply personal and rooted with a sense of self. Let's gather the breath. Inhale. Let it out. And with that breath, we release into the Shavasana, or the seated meditation that feels right for us today. Turn the palms up and out to the sky. Let the toes fall open with it. Close the eyes and just enjoy this. Feel like you're laying in the sun. And as you lay in your stillness here, maybe you actually are outside and you're feeling the warmth of that sun seep into your muscles and land in your heart center. And you just want to continue to stay here, then you listen to your signals and you stay right here. If you're with me, we bring a little bit of movement back in. And it's that little dance that we do, something habitual, maybe something that feels different. You might elongate the body, take full stretches. You might roll over towards one side and find that sense of weight and heaviness through the side of the body. And eventually we'll press it all the way up and we'll meet and gather in a comfortable seat. And as we bring ourselves back to that comfortable seat, we're going to place the left hand just underneath the navel facing upwards to the sky. You're going to make a thumbs up with your right hand. You're just going to rest that thumbs up in towards the left palm. Agni Mudra. Closing down the eyes and just taking 3 deep breaths, low and wide. Inhale. Below the bellies into Manipura. Exhale. For 2. Keeping sense of heat and vitality for 1. And blinking your eyes open. Let's bring the arms wide and high to the ceiling. Receive a new energy on the inhale. Let your hands, thumbs land into third eye space. Reclose the eyes. Give yourselves the biggest thank you for practicing and moving from this day and beyond. Continue, continue, and all is coming. Thank you so much for joining. And we shall see you soon. Thank you as always. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as we have enjoyed it. And next week you will have a practice both with myself and with Kelly.